Hello my beautiful friends, it's Amanda here, and today I'm going to be talking about the new Revealed Matte palette from Coastal Scents. I recently reviewed the Fairy Fuchsia palette from Coastal Scents, and I was really impressed with the mattes in that palette. So when I saw they were coming out with an all matte Revealed palette, I absolutely had to order it. So we're going to go over all the product details first, and then I'll show you finger and brush swatches. And at the very end of the video, I'll show you an eye look using this palette. I am wearing some of the shades on my eyes right now, so if you want to see how I got this eye look, stick around to the end of the video and I'll do a quick little tutorial too. Before we swatch, let's just go over some of the info about this palette. This retails for $19.95 on the Coastal Scents website. They did have an intro deal when it first launched, so I was able to order this for $9.95. I did purchase this myself, if it makes any difference to you. The packaging is a slim, lightweight cardboard. There is a magnetic closure. There is no mirror inside. It does not come with a brush or an applicator of any kind. There are 20 eyeshadow shades inside, and of course they are all matte. This palette contains 30 grams of product, that is 1 ounce of eyeshadows, and just for reference, a Urban Decay Naked palette has about 15.6 grams, so this is almost twice the amount of product as a Naked palette. This palette does not have any shade names for these shadows, so just for your reference, I'm going to start on the top row and I'm going to swatch these 5 at a time. So I'll start on this side, work my way over, and then on the bottom row, the same thing. I will be showing both finger and brush swatches. I won't use any primer or any product, it'll just be on my bare skin on my hand. And for my brush swatches, I'll use my e.l.f. flat eyeshadow brush, and I'll clean off in between with my Vera Mona color switch. Here we have the first 5 shades on the top row. On top are the finger swatches and below are brush swatches. I know these are pretty difficult to see just because these light shades are very close to my skin tone. However, I think the finger swatches actually look pretty good considering how close these are to my actual skin tone. Of course, the brush swatches are much softer. Here we have the last 5 shades on the top row, a lot of rosy mauve tones. Again, finger swatches on top, brush swatches below. I do think that these pretty much all come off looking pretty similar here with the exception of this last kind of eggplant shade, but all of these dusty mauve colors look pretty similar. All pretty though. We're moving down to the bottom row in the palette now, and this is where you're gonna find most of the warm tones. Again, 2 light shades here. This one is more yellowy instead of pinky, like the lighter shades on the top row are. And then we have these really gorgeous kind of rusty warm colors here. I love these kind of shades, and look how great these brush swatches look down here. Nice and smooth. These are the last 5 shades in the palette, and we are seeing a lot of the deeper, darker tones here. Again, finger swatches on top, brush swatches below. I think these brush swatches look pretty good. This kind of brighter dark purple is probably the patchiest shade that I've swatched from the palette. Overall, I think it's a really pretty color. It's just not really coming through as brightly as I hoped it would. But I mean, look at this dark brown and black shade here. Brush swatches look so good on these. My main complaint with this palette is that the shades in the top row just all look too similar in my opinion. When they're swatched out, they really could be completely interchangeable, at least for me. I don't know if you've had a different experience, or maybe on a different skin tone, they might show up a little differently. But I do wish that some of these kind of mauve-y, light mauve shades would have been replaced with maybe some more warm shades, a couple of different browns perhaps. Other than this section of 4 or 5 mauve-y, kind of medium mauve shades that look really similar to me, I do think overall this palette does manage to have a really good variety considering that all the shades have the same finish. I really like that there are the reds and the purple shades included, so you can take your neutral look in a more warm or a more cool direction, just depending on what you're feeling that day. And I am really impressed with these two darkest shades in the palette, the dark brown and the black. In my experience, really affordable dark brown and black eyeshadows just haven't really cut it for me. They're usually really patchy, really chunky, or just not pigmented, and I think that they did a really good job with those deep matte shades in here. I really like the packaging. It's slim, it'll be easy to store, it'd be easy to travel with, and I do think this is a great staple palette, whether you're a makeup artist or not. Having a lot of these matte, kind of transition-y type shades is always useful. This could be a great companion palette if you have a really shimmery palette that's lacking mattes. This can really kind of fill in the gaps for a lot of other eyeshadows. I think this is definitely worth the price tag, but if you don't want to pay the full $20 for this palette, just keep your eyes out on the Coastal Scents website. They're constantly putting products on sale and having site-wide sales. So if you're interested in this, but you're not interested in the $20 price tag, then just kind of keep an eye out on their site, and I'm sure it'll be going back on sale soon. Now I'm going to show you a quick tutorial using this palette, so let's jump into the eye look. I'm priming my lids just like always with my MAC Paint Pot in Painterly, and I'm going to refer to the shades in the palette as 1 through 10 on either top row or bottom row. So I'm using shade number 3 on the top row to set that eye primer and just give me a nice smooth surface to work with. Then for my transition shade, I'm actually mixing 4 and 5 on the top row, and I'm just sweeping that into my crease using my ColourPop blending brush. This has really quickly become one of my favorite go-to crease brushes. It just blends out so easily. Now I'm doing my all over lid color, and I'm using shade number 8, just one of those good old medium toned mauve shades, and I'm packing that all over my lid. Then I'm going to brighten up my inner corner using shade number 2, and I'm using a really small flat brush for this, just on the very inner part of my eyelid. Then I'm going to deepen up the outer part of my eye. I'm using shade number 7 on the bottom row, and as you can see, I'm just kind of patting that all along the very outermost corner of my lids. Then I'm going to go back in with one of my transition shades. This is shade number 5, and I'm just blending everything together and making sure that it looks nice and smooth, and I'm also taking that under my lower lash line, and again just deepening up the outer part to add some dimension and make sure everything's really nicely blended. I'm also going to highlight my brow bone just a little bit using the 3rd shade on the top row, just sweeping that right under my brow. And then I'm doing a little bit of a faux liner using the dark brown shade with a little angled brush. And of course, you have to curl your lashes, add some mascara, and that's it. That's my finished look. For those of you who stuck around to the end of the video, I have a little surprise for you. When I ordered my palette, I actually ordered a second one to do a giveaway for you guys. All the details will be in the description box. My giveaway will be through my Instagram page, so go and check that out and enter to win your own Coastal Scents Revealed Matte Palette. I'd love to hear your thoughts about this palette, and if you have any of the other Revealed palettes, let me know your thoughts on those as well, because I don't own any of the other Revealed palettes, so you have to tell me, do I need them in my life? Is it worth skipping? I need your opinion. As always, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye. It's as good as it's gonna get. I don't know what I'd do without my paint pot. I don't want to think about it. Dramatic much? Okay. Alright, Coastal Scents, I see you. I feel like I'm all just out of whack here. Is that better? No? No? Don't bother. Say something. Did I already say that? I think I did. Let's try that again. Start over. Okay, great, good, great. Oops. Oh man. I need all the coffee today. What? You're so weird. Like, really, do I need to be doing this right now? Do I need to clean my eyelash curler right now while I'm filming? Yeah, maybe I do. But probably not. It's fine. It's fine. Have I been over caffeinated? Perhaps. I'm getting distracted by Instagram, as usual. Okay, that's enough of that. I think I went a little overboard when I mixed in some liquid highlight with my foundation. So I'm glowing. A little too much. Too much me? No, never.